A Korean man has a fetish for being submissive. He gets into a BDSM relationship with his colleague, but things take an unexpected turn. See how things turn out in today's recap of the Korean romantic comedy movie Love and Leashes. Now just sit back, relax, and enjoy the movie with relaxed recaps. The scene opens in the office premises, where a guy named Jung Ji-hoo meets his boss and colleague Jung Ji-woo. Today is Ji-woo's first day in the office, and the boss introduces him to the rest of the team. A team member points out that it would be difficult to call him as his name is very similar to Ji-woo. The boss says they don't have to worry, as Ji-woo and Ji-hoo are in different positions. Now, Ji-woo informs the boss that they shouldn't associate the YouTuber they talked about with their brand, as he has made homophobic comments. But the boss says that the YouTuber has many subscribers, so their educational content will reach a bigger audience. Ji-hoo advises that they should wait and think about casting the YouTuber, as he might become a liability. Everyone likes his idea, and the boss appreciates him. Then, the boss asks Ji-woo and Ji-hoo to work together and create a list of people that they can cast. Later, a colleague tells Ji-woo that everyone in the office has a crush on Ji-hoo. Ji-woo says she's interested in him too, but she doesn't want to make it obvious. Surprisingly, Ji-hoo comes there and appreciates her for speaking against the YouTuber. At home, Ji-woo's mother gives her some dating tips. She advises her to never ask out first, as it's a man's job to hunt. The following day, Ji-hoo asks the security guard about the courier delivered in his name. The guard says that someone else picked it up. Turns out, Ji-woo picked it up as their names are so similar. Ji-hoo swiftly runs to get the package before she opens it, but it's too late. Ji-woo finds a neck collar in the box, but Ji-hoo snatches it and says it's for his dog. She says this is too big for a dog, but he lies that his dog has a thick neck. While leaving, he accidentally drops the box, and Ji-woo sees the coupon for BDSM products. He nervously picks it up, and the scene ends there. At night, Ji-hoo talks to his ex-girlfriend about his situation. He's happy that no one knows about his fetish for BDSM, and Ji-woo is not treating him any differently. He wonders if Ji-woo also might be like him. The next day in the office, Ji-hoo is with his team deciding colors for their products. He goes to pick up something from the storeroom and decides to text Ji-woo for not telling anyone about his secret. Before he could send it, he sees her outside and starts backspacing, but accidentally sends the message and hides behind a toy. Ji-woo enters the room and asks who's behind it, but Ji-hoo bumps his head and falls down. She takes the toy off and sees that it's Ji-hoo. Then she immediately takes him to the doctor. After that, Ji-hoo comes out of the hospital and thanks Ji-woo for not telling anyone. She also apologizes for ordering him around at work, and Ji-hoo thinks that she's like him. He excitedly says that he's happy to find someone like him, and he asks her to be his master. Turns out, Ji-woo meant something else and realizes that he bought the neck collar for himself. She goes home and starts researching BDSM. She learns about the D and S relationship, which involves one dominant and one submissive person. The one who gives orders is called the dom, and the one who obeys is called the sub. Then she explains the entire situation to her friend, Hi Mi. Hi Mi suggests that she should play dumb and give some time to Ji-hoo. The next day, she meets Ji-hoo at an office event and acts like everything is normal. She later finds him crying near a car and asks what happened. Ji-hoo says that he likes her, but now she's disgusted by him and thinks of him as a creep. And he's only ever told his fetish to Hannah, who is his ex-girlfriend, who dumped him after being a pervert. But Ji-woo replies that she was just giving him space, and everyone is perverted in some way. Ji-hoo gets excited hearing it and asks Ji-woo to become his master. She awkwardly says no, so he leaves from there. The next day at the office, Ji-woo sees some girls flirting with Ji-hoo and gets jealous. She texts him and asks him to come to the lounge. There, she asks him to put on a blindfold and makes him sit on the bench. She asks why he wanted her to be his master. Ji-hoo says that he has never met someone like her, who does not care about what others think, and she can be completely herself. Ji-woo agrees to try out D and S with him and asks him to stop avoiding her. They get home, and Ji-woo starts researching more about this relationship. She reads articles on how to be a good master, whereas Ji-hoo is super excited that he got a master. He has a nightmare of his ex-girlfriend Hannah breaking up with him and wakes up from his sleep. He meets Ji-woo in the office, and she sets up rules for their relationship. She also gives him a pair of glasses to wear, so he can always feel dominated as he'll be carrying a gift from his master. From then, Ji-hoo starts serving Ji-woo to the best of his abilities. They decide to conduct a play at least once a week and agree to not do sexual activities without consent. For their first play, they check into a hotel. Ji-woo orders him to wear the collar and decides that their first play would be a dog play. She treats Ji-hoo like a dog and he feels really happy. Then she feeds him and Ji-hoo even barks like a dog. Later in the office, Ji-woo asks if he was hurt in yesterday's play. Ji-hoo says don't worry and insists that he will plan the next play. At their play, Ji-hoo has brought a cake for her and he wants to be the first one to wish her a happy birthday to his master. He has also brought a pair of red heels and they fit perfectly. Ji-woo asks if she should step on him and he agrees. He bends over and she slowly steps on him. Even though it's hurting Ji-hoo, he seems to be enjoying it a lot. After a while, Ji-hoo goes home and sees the wounds on his back caused by the heels. On the other hand, Hae-mi advises Ji-woo to ask out Ji-hoo, but she says no as it would be considered an abuse of power. Then, at an office meeting, their boss introduces them to a new intern, Lee-han. A colleague suggests that Lee-han should work under Ji-woo so he can learn the ropes around here. The boss also agreed as, according to him, if someone can work under Ji-woo, they can work under anyone. Ji-woo assigns several tasks to Lee-han, but Ji-woo feels slightly jealous as his master is giving orders to someone else. After that, Ji-woo visits a shop to buy some instruments for their play. In this week's play, Ji-woo lies in the bathtub with his mouth shut, while Ji-woo drops hot wax on his back. They start doing more and more plays while working in the office as usual. Their plays get more and more intense, and Ji-woo starts to even get more jealous of Lee-han. He tries to threaten him in the washroom, but Lee-han gets a call from Ji-woo, so he leaves immediately. One evening in the office, Ji-woo decides to talk things out with Ji-woo. He explains that she acts like Han's master and it makes him jealous, but Ji-woo decides to punish him for saying this and closes the door. She orders him to undo his belt and take his coat off. Then she hits him with the belt. Actually, she's just hitting the table and not Ji-hoo for some reason. Ji-hoo doesn't feel satisfied with this and requests her to punish him or curse him. Ji-woo does exactly that and pushes him out of the room while she curses him for all the things in their office. She even breaks someone's back scratcher in anger, and Ji-hoo is thrilled to see it. Suddenly, a security guard comes there, so the two hide immediately. They manage to sneak out without being seen and tell each other that they really enjoyed that play. At home, we see that Ji-woo is starting to catch feelings for Ji-hoo. They conduct their next play in a professional setting where they dress up as dom and sub, and Ji-woo hits him with a hunter. She later addresses his wounds and asks if he really enjoys this pain. He says yes, as this is just who he is. After a while, Ji-woo takes him to a cafe and says that they're here for their next play. She ties one handcuff to her hand while the other is on Ji-hoo's hand. Then she orders him to stay next to her all day long. Meanwhile, Hae-mi also meets a guy she's supposed to go on a date with. Ji-woo and Ji-hoo sit together for some food, and she feeds him with her hands. Then she asks him out for a date. After thinking for a while, Ji-hoo says no, as they shouldn't date. Meanwhile, Hae-mi has gone to a private room with the guy. The guy immediately takes off his belt and asks if she wants him to hit her. Seeing no option, she calls Ji-woo and gives away her address. They immediately get into their car and reach the hotel, but turns out Hae-mi has already taken control of the situation. She has the guy in bondage, and she threatens him that if he did anything, she'll leak his photos. Then Hae-mi confesses that she posted a request online as she wanted to try D and S too. At night, Ji-woo regrets asking out Ji-hoo, whereas Ji-hoo is once again having a nightmare about his breakup with Hana. After months of dating, he revealed his D and S fetish, so Hana called him a pervert and left him. After a while, they decide to conduct their final play, as their 3-month contract is about to end. Ji-woo prepares some ropes as their final play would be bondage. During the final play, Ji-woo binds Ji-hoo and starts slapping him. Then she leans in for a kiss, and the two start kissing each other, but Ji-hoo gets a little too aggressive, so she pushes him away. Ji-woo starts crying and says she doesn't even know what she's doing. Ji-hoo apologizes and she releases him from bondage. Ji-hoo tries to convince her to stay, but she leaves for home. One evening, Ji-woo receives a call from Han telling her to check the mail. She checks the mail and finds an audio recording of the play they conducted in the office. Looks like someone recorded their audio and now everyone has heard it. During the disciplinary hearing, the officials ask them what exactly is their relationship and even crack jokes about them. The official goes on to crack more humiliating comments about their relationship, so Ji-hoo says that's enough. He says he likes Ji-woo and he would like to go out with her. He says that all of them should be ashamed of themselves and then asks out Ji-woo. Ji-woo says that they apologize for their indecency in the office and that they will carry on their relationship outside. The two then leave the room. Outside, Ji-woo says that they should renew their contract, as now they'll do dating and D&S together. At the end of the movie, they release their boss's personal chats in the office as their audio was recorded by Han's pen. The movie ends with Ji-woo and Ji-hoo enjoying both aspects of their lives together. That was it for today, guys. Subscribe to Relaxed Recaps for more content like this. Until next time.